Hey guys, welcome back into Legacy. Yeah, hopefully we all had a good and fun, productive new year. I know I actually got plenty done, and I'm still working on getting a little bit done around the house because unfortunately it got to be a mess because of some illness. But other than that, I was pretty productive. Got plenty accomplished. Anyways, uh, so we're back into Dragon Warriors today, and good God, I'm shedding hair everywhere. Um, One of the disadvantages of going bald, apparently, you shed hair everywhere. Today we're going to actually cover and technically in the rulebook it goes from the warriors to the wizards. I'm going to skip the wizards for last because there's a little bit more to them. I'm going to discuss what comes after wizards, which is the assassins. Guys, just so you know, I'm not going to cover any of the professions in the player's guide. If you want to check those out, I encourage you to. I'm just covering the core rules for this video series because there's enough there to just kind of give you an idea of what the game is. Okay, so assassins are exactly what they sound like. If you played first edition D&D, you got a pretty good idea of what assassins can do and what they can't do. Well, they're fun character types. They should be extremely rare. That's something that's pretty well covered in the rules. They're one of the few classes that's actually going to hit minimum requirements. To be an assassin, you have to have 12 in reflexes and 9 in both intelligence and psychic talent. And I mean, it kind of reiterates, calls them minimum requirements, and then tells you that if you don't have them, you can't be this profession. Well, no shit, Sherlock. They're minimum requirements. Okay, anyways. They, it's like these other videos. Sorry, guys, I got this bookmarked, and then I can't find my bookmark because I'm apparently retarded today. Okay, just like everything else, they get bonuses based on their rank, and their ranking is a little bit different than most others. They get 1 attack each rank. They get 1 defense when they get at third rank, and then 1 to defense every odd level after. So 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, blah, blah, blah. They get +1 hit point every time they go up. +1 for magical defense every time they go up a level. Which is a little odd for them, but they do get +1 evasion at 5th and another at 9th. And they get +1 to stealth and perception every time they level. So assassins are actually, as you guys can see, they're very, very good at sneaking around, backstabbing, perceiving. It's kind of what they do. They are actually one of the heavier classes when it comes to taking abilities. They also get some, I would argue, and feel free, you guys want to disagree with me on this if you've played before, I'd argue they actually get some of the more abundant choices. So they get stealth, what's called combat techniques, mental techniques, meditation techniques, alchemical techniques, and they can also take skills. So, which this is the first time anything's mentioned about skills anywhere in Dragon Warriors. Because normally what it is if you want to try something, you can try it, but you're going to try it off your attributes. The actual class for assassins gains certain abilities that they can use like skills. They give them bonuses and everything else and help them to do certain things like climb and hide better. So, stealth is a very pretty simple thing. So, make sure I get this right. Yeah, just make sure I don't lie to you here. Yeah, so he gets stealth. What it is, he gets high stealth versus a lot of other characters. And it is actually theoretically possible for him to hide in plain sight. It's kind of terrifying. I was about to say, I'll make sure there's not a mechanic there, because there's not. Just want to double check that, make sure I didn't lie to you. But because they get stealth and perception each rank, their stealth is going to be really effing high compared to most classes. And then, like I said, what you're going to do is you got different combat techniques. You get one of these at 1st rank, 3rd rank, 5th rank, and 7th rank. So there are 4 of them. You will eventually wind up all 4 of them if you play long enough. What it is, they do different things, different abilities. I'm not going to get into what those abilities are, but I'll tell you what the techniques are. Armor piercing, unarmed combat, throwing spikes, and shock attack. Honestly, like I said, you can look at the rulebook if you want to see more about the mechanics and how each of them work, because I've tried to make these videos not about the mechanics so much as about the actual class. So they know where to stick the knife to bypass armor. They can hit you and cause you to lose, to surprise you and cause you to lose your attack. It reduces your attack to 0. Yada, yada, yada. They do get the equivalent of throwing stars, and they can use unarmed combat more efficiently than anyone else. Mental techniques, very similar. Not going to get into all the details of them because I'm not trying to make this a mechanical video. You get your inner sense, you get memorize, and death vow. So again, mechanically, they're very well described, very well crafted. The one that's probably the most common is the death vow. Basically, it's like marking somebody as an assassin in the newer version of D&D. Except, obviously, it's been around for a long time because this book has not been rewritten. Not much of it, anyways. And the mental techniques help him prepare himself for different circumstances. So, like, he can memorize information without having to. He can memorize how to get in and out of place without a map, for example. Those are good examples of how those techniques work. Meditational techniques. There's trances that you enter, so it allows you to rapidly heal, suspend animation. You can detect if you're being scried on or ESP, all kinds of crazy things. So meditational techniques, that you can use them. They automatically basically unlock from level to level, rank to rank. Light trance, for example, comes up at first, whereas the fire trance doesn't come available to you till 10th. And you decide which trance you want to use when. They tell you how long you actually have to rest, or how long you have to meditate before you can access that trance. And again, guys, it's all mechanical. But what it is basically they're allowed to shut themselves down to lock in on certain abilities, whether it be healing, whether it be the ability to find targets, to be able to detect when you're being scried upon, all that kind of stuff. So then you get your alchemical techniques. This is where you're going to learn how to poison things. You learn how to throw smoke bombs. You can learn all this stuff. And these unlock as you go along as well. So keep that in mind, all of the stuff. And you have to have the equipment to actually produce these. And then finally, you go into skills. They get skills. Okay. You can break your fall, climb, jump, disguise, pilfer, and pick lock with these guys. Track too. Track works just like everybody else's tracking. They're pretty much what they sound like, guys. Breakfall, you're able to slow down or hit the ground with more grace if you get knocked off or something like that, so you don't take as much damage. Disguise, you hide yourself. Pilfer is going to be the one that most people are probably least less common term there. It's your thieving skill. It's your ability to take something out of somebody's pocket, to take something off of a counter with nobody noticing it, all of that stuff. So, like I said, the assassin himself, not a very difficult class to understand. It's pretty basic, straightforward class to understand. Really, it comes down to what you're allowed to do and not do. They should be rare. The game will tell, like I said, the game tells you pretty easily, pretty early on. Make sure you're playing, especially for the first few games, you probably want to stick with mostly Knights and Barbarians. And then as you guys get comfortable with the rules, start to ease into other classes, other professions. Make an encouragement, if you really want to play with other classes early on, the Assassin's probably the most healthy one to get into because, like I said, spellcasting wizards are a lot different than you think they are. They're super rare in Legend, so don't ask why. I can't explain it. It's like magic in Middle-earth, just is. So, guys, that's the Assassin. Be happy to answer questions and stuff on the comments if you have any, because I'm more than happy to introduce people to this game and introduce them to the great joy of what this game brings. That being said, the next video I'm going to cover the start with the sorcerers. So be prepared for maybe a little longer videos on those, because those are probably going to take a couple more minutes to go through and review and talk about, because there's a lot more to them. Okay, guys, comments, questions, thoughts, concerns below. As always, let's just keep it above the belt. I know I don't want to tell you guys too much anymore. I've only had one person in the last 6 months kind of give me headaches over that. So thumbs up for all you guys that watch these videos that don't start fights. Notice something. I'm going to pause real quick, because notice something I'm not saying. I don't care if you disagree with me. I'm fine with that. Just don't be an ass about it. Okay, unpause. As always, guys, we do hope that you guys keep having fun, and we do hope to see you guys around.